Hello and welcome to the show. We're back on a Car Mechanic Simulator today, finishing off the restoration work on our Mazda Cosmo. Hopefully going to get the rotary car buzzing away nicely. I have off camera gone and done the shock absorbers at the front, and we have now got our wheels and tyres for the car ready. Not the biggest tyres, I don't know the biggest tyres on this one. They're 205s on the Cosmo, which for the age of the car isn't actually too bad. Not really, certainly not considering some of the classic cars and some of the jiddy wheels that we've had on vehicles. So yeah, it's not too shabby. It is on the retro tyres, so I'll be curious to see how this, or the vintage tyres, sorry. I'll be curious to see how this does when we go to the off-road area, because I do want to test the Cosmo there. We've had some interesting success and not success with various cars messing about in the off-road part, and yeah, how this will fare, I am interested to see. We have got some of the bits and pieces of the Cosmo here in terms of bodywork. We have got a right tail light, fantastic. We do, okay, that's just like a placeholder license plate. We do actually have a door as well. We have a odd mismatch. It's almost a Harley Quinn Cosmo we've got going on. Did we have a mirror? No. Okay, never mind. We did have the bonnet though. I do. Well, I say we had the bonnet. Whether it was repairable? Oh no, it wasn't repaired. That much is for sure. Do have the front bumper. We have a right headlight. I think the right headlight's the only headlight we have. And we had. I thought we had a mirror. We have a left side mirror. We don't have. So we need both doors. We basically need all of the windows. Yeah, we need both doors, all of the windows, left tail light, left headlight. Oh, assembly mode. Do we have a front end? We do have a front end complete. That's potentially it. Right. Let's go and add all of this stuff to the list before I forget. Oh, I don't need both doors, sorry. This is why I'm going to try and be more efficient and add stuff to the list. Oh, what's going on there? Okay, it's got off the assembly mode. Thank you for that. Add to list and add to lists. There we go. And then we will need some license plates. They look, those, I think they're supposed to be Oregon ones, look a lot like Scottish plates more than anything else. Yeah, that kind of looks like it would be a Scottish plate. Anyway, to the shop. Also, you might be able to hear my cat meowing away in the background. What's up, you two? I don't know. I don't know what they're meowing about. It's probably a fly. It's probably a fly somewhere going. Oh, I'm in the. No, there'll be a thing in there. Is there? Don't be silly. Yeah, there's probably a fly going around in my office. They like to chase. They like to chase after flies. Hunting flies tends to be what they spend their time doing. Right, shopping list. We need a left headlight. Left headlight. There we go. That's the one. We need a hood. Yes. We need a right side mirror. We needed both. We need the left door mirror and the right mirror window. Left and right windows. We needed the front. Ooh, we needed the rear window, of course. And I don't even remember which bloody door it was that we were missing. What door are we missing? Did I not put the door in? We need the left-hand door. Front left door. There we go. Not crazy in terms of the price for this stuff, which is good news for me. I say good news for me. We've got stacks of money, so it doesn't really matter. It's good news for being, easy to buy. However, it does probably mean that this car overall isn't going to be worth a crazy amount. Oh, we're not quite in the right mode, of course. There we go. Car status, global body condition, global parts condition, 95%. What have we not? Oh, we haven't got the. Of course, we haven't got front shock absorber. Oh, did I not put them in on this side? All right, normal mode. Right, I didn't put this side in over here. I need to do one side of the leaf springs. That would generally help. Which side was it? The other one we need to do. Part mount. Can we? There we go. Right. Oh, got to lift the damn car up. Up to the sky with you. We do need to get the battery off the tester. Then we will be good, I think, to go. Unless there's anything else we are missing. I'm pretty sure I bought all of these, just never got around to installing them. typical, simplest of rear suspensions, and forget half of the bits for it, because of course. Right, so battery, and then we've got the various lights to do. Cool, lights are easy enough, and of course we've got plates to buy as well. I didn't mean to come in here, however, while I am here, let's go and get the seats for inside. We might as well go with the RX. Let's go with the RX3 seats, kind of makes sense to me. Well, those two. Don't know if it has a back seat or not. Steering wheel RX3, yeah, we'll take those. What's the other thing I came in here for? All license plates. There we go. Right, just close your eyes, scroll randomly through, and we will be going for here. Vermont. Sure, we will get 2 Vermont plates. Why not? Why not? Assembly mode. Taillight. I did not buy the taillight. Whoopsie, my bad then. We need to get a taillight as well. Well done, me. I definitely put that in the list of things. Cosmo... left tail light. Maybe I bought left headlight and then didn't come back to get left tail light. That would be a very me sort of thing to do. And that would be a very me sort of thing to do. Right, tail light is in. Headlight is in. Front plate is in. Battery, we will go grab from over here. Take the battery. That should be all nicely charged. We'll have to put oil in the car, of course. And then interior. Have we got mechanically done now? Yes, it's just seats and steering wheel by the looks of it. Cool. Move car to the garage entranceway. We will fit in the seats. There is no back to the Cosmo. That's fine by me. Oh no, wait. We want to go back to interior mode. Interior assemble. Left seat, right seat, and steering wheel. Oh, we had a steering wheel attached. Cool. Right. It looks... Now I'm kind of stood next to it, it looks like the tiny sports car I expect it to. It just is longer than I was kind of expecting it to be, I think, is perhaps what I am thinking. Because, yeah, I mean, I don't know how tall that character is, but it's certainly a low-slug sports car. Right. Place your bets, audience. Oh, oil, of course. How much power this thing is going to produce with the tweaks that I could put in the car. How much power do you reckon we're going to get out of the rotary? And of course, if you built one before on here, then it'd be cheating. But my bet is around... Oh, I've overfilled it a little bit more. But no, I got an achievement for doing it, so bugger it. That's what we're going for, honest. Right, car status, everything is 100%. Actually, I'll tell you what, value's gone up a bit more than I expected it to, 96,000. So that's not too bad. Over to the dyno we go. So this big old boat had some 500 plus horsepower, I think. It was almost 600 by the time we were done with that. How much can we get out of the little Cosmo? Started with 126. I don't think we're gonna... didn't have much in the way of options for bits to put in the car. Fingers crossed. Come on, little Mazda. Give us some good figures. Give us some good figures out of the engine. And that is going to be 163. It's only a 30% power increase, but I was very limited by the performance parts that we could get in, as just options and stuff that we could put on the car. So 163 horsepower, a little bit more than I was expecting it to be. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I'm pleased enough with that anyway. Might be enough maybe to get it up the giant hill. That's the real test for it. Can it make it up the giant hill in the off-road testing area? So far only a few cars have actually been able to do that one. Paint shop. How shall we paint our car? Oh, there's no liveries for the Cosmo. I mean, it's tempting just to go and paint it orange, because that's always a good way to go. Metallic, painted orange. I mean, I'm happy with having an orange Cosmo, to be honest with you. It's gonna cost me 1,000. There we go. Cosmo is all done. Mazda is ready to go and be tested in all sorts of various mean ways. Off-road track it is. Can the little Mazda climb the hills? Well, here we are at the off-road testing area. So far, we've had a interesting mixture of cars fail and succeed at climbing this hill. The Shelby Daytona, despite all of the power that it had, didn't have the grip from the tyres, whereas the Hot Rod was able to climb the massive hill. The Willys Jeep, of course, being an off-road vehicle, that was perfectly happy. Oh, this is actually quite a nippy little car. I like it so far. Here we go. Giant hill. Can we climb it in the Cosmo? Yes, we can. Look at that. That was with ease as well. Oh, come on now, camera. Got to behave ourselves there. That was very, very easily that we climbed the hill in the Cosmo. Oh, that's a bit of a horrible bit that we managed to hit. Now, I suspect we're probably not going to have so much fun. Yeah, the overhangs on this car are problematic. I mean, it did the hill part really, really well. I was not expecting that, to be able to climb the hill so perfectly well. However, there are other problems when it comes to the whole off-roading bit. It's not got the worst suspension for dealing with this. Mind, it's relatively compliant over this early stuff. It is just if you get the overhangs caught somewhere, that's when it gets really grumpy. I mean, I can kind of understand that to an extent, and I am really, really impressed with the way that just effortlessly climbs the hill. I could do that all day with absolutely no problems, which is remarkable. I guess the tyres are probably decent enough one. I mean, they're vintage tyres, but I guess they're good enough ones for climbing hills. Can we launch? Oh, we can launch the Cosmo quite a long way. It does fly pretty well. What about dealing with rocks? Can we? Oh, no. I think that is an immediate definitely not in terms of dealing with the rocks. Probably a little too low for this. Definitely a little bit too low. And unlike the Hot Rod that can probably get away with it, this, again, is the overhangs at the front. The Hot Rod doesn't really have that to contend with in the same way. So, yeah, it's not such a lover of the rocky sections. I guess we'll have to go round wide. Oh, God, we've got to drive up over the rocks here. This will not end well for us. Just power and fly the Cosmo. That's the way to do it. That's definitely how off-roading works, right? It's definitely not why I get stuck in spin tyres all the time, because power is the way to go. I also did at one point have a lap around here that now I've apparently forgotten. Where did I go wrong on my lap? Around there was a route. I've got very lost. I managed to get myself lost on a racetrack, and if that's not the James May Award, I don't know what is, and I rolled it, and now it's going to be stuck. Oops. I mean, that is the FailRace way, of course. I mean, the Cosmo can now be properly FailRace approved. It's been rolled over. What turn did I take wrong then around here? Maybe it wasn't to go through the rocky part. Maybe that wasn't where we went. So here we go. This is the kind of the start line, like with Rallycross, where they start you kind of slightly off the side of the circuit, because that's where the course would rejoin. Because yeah, we had the whatever the car was last time climbing this hill, had to try and do it from the slower approach. Struggled a little bit more that time. I was slightly wonky. Oh, maybe we go down there. Maybe that's where we want to take the car. Oh, that's a horrible, horrible bit of dirt that we have found. So if we turn down this way, this is looking more like it. And then we're going to go over the tyres. Oh, well, clonk our way over the tyres. Don't beach it. But there we will-ish. So there we go. It's a cross. It's not really convincingly a cross. Oh, no, I probably shouldn't have done... No. Beached it again. Bugger. Bugger and blast. I just wanted to run around. Like, there's a really cool little corner where you could run around on the wooden section. So we're just going to go do that instead. We'll see if we can get across like the little motocross jump section. Right, oh, across the rocks we go. Yeah. It's actually not too bad off-road. It's the ground clearance and, oh, God, the overhangs that get caught on stuff that do cause the car some problem. It doesn't really like climbing its way across here, but admittedly I didn't have any momentum going on to it. That won't help matters. And across, not really the motocross jump, it's got more of a tabletop there. And then bounce our way over that bit. And then once more up the hill, I think, just to finish off on a high note, because this is the one thing that it can do very well. It has got the traction and the power and everything to make its way up the hill. Look at that. The Cosmo will climb the hill. The rest of the off-road course, funnily enough, it doesn't particularly particularly enjoy. But I mean, the power and the acceleration seems actually pretty good in this vehicle. So, of course, we do have to give the Cosmo a half-fair place of testing, which is why we've come to the racetrack. As I said, it didn't feel that sluggish whatsoever in terms of speed, so we might be able to get a decent lap time out of it. And because it's not crazily overpowered, it might not be too bad a car to drive. In terms of a combination of drivability and speed, this is probably looking like one of the better vehicles. It is a little bit on the wobbly side, that much is true, although again, it's an older classic car. You would perhaps expect that from the suspension. Certainly we're not having issues so far in terms of handling characteristics. We've still got the age-old car mechanic simulator thing of it sort of dragging itself about weirdly, and especially under brakes you've got to be mindful. Or maybe we'll make it around that turn. I can't. The only lap time I can remember was a 57 from the Shelby Daytona. I think it was a 103 from an RX-7, and we're not anywhere near the power of either of those cars, so we're not expecting to go faster than those. But I would like to see what the car is capable of. It's got a 5-speed gearbox, apparently. It was doing 220 kilometers. Again, for 100 and... Ooh, we got very deep into turn 1. For 160 horsepower, this thing has got a lot more speed about it than I was expecting, and probably than a lot of these, say with this level of powered cars. I guess the Cosmo is very, very light, and the upgrades will have helped it. The RX-3, I imagine, I can't remember the RX-3, how quick that thing was to drive, but there's a fair few kind of mid-level cars that could potentially have more power than this, but this would be a lot more entertaining to drive, shall we say. Oh, I'll try and slow it down for that wobble and change of direction. Oh, you can't quite throw it through there with as much vigour. Play on the grass, just power through there, it's fine. Nothing can go wrong with any of that. Out of the final corner we go. Right, next lap. Next lap is where we're going to get a nice clean time. I mean, if everything goes right, we might not be that far away from the RX-7. Okay, we probably didn't lose 7 seconds in the turn 1 issues. Oh god, car's moving around completely on its own, and it's a really nasty turn 1. You think you can carry a lot more speed into it than you can, and it doesn't help that the car is dragging itself around a fair bit there. Try and get away with being as aggressive as we can across the curbs, but a wheel on the grass isn't going to help. It was quite a good test track, this one, in terms of cornering. Could do with perhaps a little bit more in terms of higher speed corners. While there are faster turns here, because it's a very short track, they all tend to be limited, the sort of speeds that you can get up to. Like, there'll be corners where you don't really have to brake in there, kind of a bit of a lift and then on power and so on, but you're not going to be doing the crazy speeds going into them simply because you don't have the space at the circuit. Right, definitely one more time around. One more time around, we'll try and not explore at turn 1 quite as much. Come on, Cosmo, you can do this. We can do this. I will try and not have you fall off the road. So we're going to brake a little earlier down into turn 1. Yeah, the car just wobbles about on its own. That's really quite horrible. However, we've got it stopped. We managed to vaguely hit an apex through that. It was kind of turn 1, turn 2-ish area. Across the curves we go. Oh, there's a little bit of the Verstappen line there. Never mind. It's fine. We haven't got the FIA telling us off. So we will keep going. Oh, try maybe. Yeah, get it slow for that corner. I'm liking this car as a vehicle to drive. If it wasn't for the horrible braking tendencies and the little bit of wobbling in a straight line, I'd say this is perhaps one of my favourite cars I've had to drive. However, it does mainly be that turn 1 where the issue is. Everywhere else around this lap is actually a really, really good car to drive. For car mechanic simulator test driving physics, this is a bloody nice vehicle to drive. Pretty good in terms of the speed as well. Again, as I said, for such limited amount of horsepower, run up towards the finish line. What are we going to do in terms of a lap time? It'll be better. It's a 106.9. I think that might have gone faster than the big pink boat, but I can't remember. I should probably get a leaderboard somewhere of lap times around here with the various cars. Are you going to let me do a celebratory? No. Why are you stalling out of my celebratory donut? Come on, you can do better. There we go. Celebratory donuts for the Cosmo. Yeah, I do very much like it. I do very much like this Mazda. A lot of fun. A lot of fun to drive. Probably one of the better driving cars that I've come across. You've just got to watch out for those brakes, specifically turn 1. But the car can have a tendency to kind of wobble itself around a fair bit. Let's just belch smoke everywhere. That's the way to do it. It's not quite like the GT40 that we could literally spin the tyres the entire lap. But I tell you what, even with that mere 160 horsepower, this thing can, yeah, certainly, certainly do plenty. Right, we'll get back to the garage. We will, I think we will sell the Cosmo for a decent amount of money in the end. It's turned out to be a better profiting vehicle than I initially expected. Well, there we go. The Mazda has been fully restored, fully tested out, and plenty of fun. It is, though, time to say goodbye to the Cosmo. 96,000 for the car. Of course, we did spend a little bit more money putting performance parts in the vehicle. If we go to inventory, and we will, we might as well sell all the guff that we have hanging around in here. I'm hoping, not quite put us above the 10.5 million mark. I think the performance parts in the end for the Cosmo will have dragged us back down. That, though, is going to be it for this episode. I think I have my hot rod. Did I leave my hot rod on here? Because I did see it as an option. There's the bugger. Let's go put our two. These are the two like legendary FailRace vehicles. We'll go stick you in the garage. Yeah, these are the two. The two important FailRace vehicles from the Car Mechanic Simulator series so far. The pink barge and the hot rod. Maybe we will performanceify the hot rod at some point. It's kind of tempting, but I also kind of don't want to change it because this was all scavenged parts that we got for the vehicle. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you want to see me performanceify the hot rod or performanceify something else. We'll go on a hunt for something next time, possibly, to work on. I've got a few more mods installed, so there are interesting cars out there in the world for us to potentially acquire. That's going to be it, though, for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.